Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. I'm Pen and today I'm going to be starting off a new book called The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made by Us by Zena Lemon. I really enjoyed the story, it was so heartwarming. Of course it's Soukoku with little hints of Shinsokoku, and I was literally crying at this story. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and let's get right into it. Here is the summary. Zarzai felt many things when he woke up that morning, but if you were to condense that the strange and honestly overwhelming wave of emotions that rattled through his being, the best way to describe it would be disorientation. Or, Soukoku wakes up in a high school AU. I really hope you enjoy this. This fic has got 13 chapters in just a little over 26,500 words. I personally really love this, and I hope you love this along with me. Let's get in for the ride. Chapter 1. Human Again. Zarzai felt many things when he woke up that morning, but if you were to condense the strange and honestly overwhelming wave of emotions that rattled through his being, the best way to describe it was disorientation. Zarzai has never been good at what many would call feeling, even during his younger years. It was hard to miss the empty gaze that filled his eyes, one that many compared to black holes, sucking any and all light that came too close. Although he doesn't remember those years very well, whether he chooses to forget everything before the age of 14 or not, there are some things that you don't have to remember specifically for them to stick. Some things you just know, and if there's one thing that Zarzai has known his entire life is that he was different. Having a supernatural ability would have been the easy answer to his dilemma, something that could be used as a scapegoat, and maybe that's why he dubbed his nullifying ability No Longer Human. He knew that he was different, like there was something within him that others did not have, or more accurately, the other way around. And when Zarzai discovered his ability, he thought that maybe it was that difference he was trying to place, the thing that made him so used to the word different so many times now. But even though Zarzai knew that his power was something that diverged him from many, he knew it wasn't the only thing. He hadn't just gained something, he had lost something as well, or maybe he never even had it in the first place. Zarzai doesn't feel. Well, he does, but not what he assumes is the correct amount. He doesn't get that joy that tugs at his smile until his face hurts, or that overwhelming feeling of sorrow that lets tears spill down his face uncontrollably. He gets scraps. He gets sparks compared to the flames he's witnessed in others, and although he's completely devoid of feeling, he's not full of it either. He isn't completely devoid of feeling, he isn't full of it either. Whether his emotional limitations and supernatural extensions are connected, he doesn't dwell. He just knows that he's different. So, finally, when Zarzai suddenly wakes up in a bed that isn't his, with no recollection of the night before and emotions rattling his brain, he immediately recognizes something is wrong. Zarzai quickly sits up in the twin-sized bed, and his brown eyes try to adjust to the dark as a very faint light spills through the blinds, the sun yet to rise. He feels so off. His hair brushes against his neck in an unfamiliar way, and his body feels heavier and strangely proportioned. He looked down at himself, his lower half still covered by the duvet, and his chest and arms covered in a thin sweater. He rolls up his sleeves only to be met by scarred, unbandaged skin. It feels so familiar yet so far away, like he's staring at an act that he knows he's committed, but has no recollection of it. Yes, self-harm was no stranger to Zarzai, but as he inspected the skin, there was an itch in his mind that told him it wasn't his actions. The same kind of actions, but not his. He slowly shuffled out of bed, his feet sliding onto the cold wooden floors. Again, there was this feeling of disorientation, like his body wasn't his own. He was a little shorter, but instead of becoming leaner with it, he actually gained weight, enough to be considered healthy, which was shocking considering healthy was never a word to describe Zarzai. He fumbled his way through the minimally decorated bedroom inspecting the wooden dresser and the desk before his eyes laid on a floor-length mirror in the corner. He sighed in relief as he saw his reflection, knowing that it was still him and not a completely different person, but he also noticed he looked a lot younger, around 17. Standing a few feet away from the mirror, he slid off his sweater he was wearing, shocked to find almost clean, untouched body underneath, at least to Dazai's standards. Most of the scarring was on his arms, 1 or 2 lines across his torso, but that was honestly child's play. He slowly ran his hand over his skin, feeling how smooth it was, and honestly finding the texture to be uncomfortable. He was not used to it. He was used to seeing his skin littered with different scars, whether self-inflicted or not. Knife and bullet wounds are no stranger to Dazai, as well as their respective marks. He slowly approached the mirror, his eyes starting to the side when he saw the small photos wedged in the thin black frame, the most decorating he had seen so far. His eyes widened as he inspected the photo. Multiple pairs of familiar eyes stared back at him, charcoal black, purplish yellow, dark brown, and deep ocean blue eyes that he knows all too well. What would you call the feeling when you see a photo of the alternate version of yourself with people you know? Deja vu, maybe? Well, whatever it is, Dazai's feeling it immensely. His eyes scanned the photo, all of its subjects looking to be around 16 or 17, each sporting a dark blue uniform. His gaze starts to the other photos, finding 4 in more casual clothes this time, their surroundings looking to be like some roller rink. The eerie feeling is replaced by a warmth in his chest as he looks over the photos, capturing his friends' smiles, like the universe had yet to take them away from, them, to throw it into the fires of what this world can bring. Octagawa still held his stoic attitude, but seemed to at least be able to produce a small smile on the unmoving face. There also seemed to be a small oxygen tank behind him, which was an observation Dazai would leave for later. Atsushi still possessed that same glow in his eyes. In fact, it seemed to shine even brighter as the shadow of his trauma from the orphanage was gone. Chuya seemed to no longer hold the weight of Arahabaki. That's the best I'm gonna get. And Dazai looked happy, but judging the scars littering his skin, there was still things were still left unchanged. Dazai had pulled his eyes off the photo as he glanced at his reflection. Oh, he is smiling. Dazai tries to relax his face, but he can't seem to resist the invisible force that tugs at his lips. He scoffs, marveling at this overwhelming joy he's never experienced before. Yes, he felt comforted and happy before, though only with specific people and places, but good nonetheless. He's never experienced such a positive reaction on this scale. Maybe they are connected. Dazai's emotional limits and supernatural extensions were really on the same side of the same coin. Because if Chuya doesn't have his ability, don't ask how he can tell, he just can, then Dazai shouldn't either. That answers one question, but opens up a whole nother. How? How was he here? And how did he lose his ability? And judging by the situation thus far, the answer should be the same. Dazai would love to keep mulling over the topic and observing the photographs, but instead he was interrupted by a sight in the corner of his eye. A faint light from the hallway spreads under his door, illuminating the corner of the room. Dazai slides the sweater back on, silently approaching the door. He was so focused on the apparent other presence that he almost missed the dark backpack resting on against his desk. But before he could address it, the handle slowly twisted, the door opening silently as whoever was opening it was trying not to make any noise. Dazai didn't know what to expect not to expect to be standing who to expect to be standing in the doorway, but a dead man definitely wasn't it. Still holding on to the handle, a man with deep red hair, who appeared to be in his late 20s, entered the room. That man was no other than I'm going to butcher his name because I'm used to his nickname. Sakunosuke Oda. Odasaku froze a little as his blue eyes landed on Dazai, seemingly surprised to see Dazai standing silently in front of the door. "Good morning, Dazai." The all too familiar voice greeted him softly. "I was just making sure you were up." And just like that, Dazai is back. He's back in that empty bar, his only company being an ex-assassin, secret government worker, bartender, and calico cat. He's back in that small curry restaurant that housed 5 orphans. He's back in that old mansion, bodies littered everywhere, including the one of his best friend. His mouth was dry, his throat closed up. His nose feels stuffy, yet runny at the same time. Is Dazai about to cry? "Dazai?" Odasaku's voice whispers softly, worried. I'm fine. I just woke up a little stuffy." He sniffles, trying to compose himself. "Do you think you're sick? It'll be a shame to miss out on the first day, but you can stay home if you need to." Odasaku reassures him, and God, it hurts to hear his voice again, but in a good way, if that makes sense. "I'm fine, seriously." Dazai finally composes himself, cursing himself in the back of his mind as he never had such a hard time bouncing back like this. "Cut me some slack. I'm not used to all this emotion," he argues back with the voice in his head. Odasaku smiles softly, a small hint of concern still on his face, as he slowly closes the door. "Alright then, you need to start getting ready if you want to make it to school on time." "Ah, there we go." I know. Dazai waves him off, sighing as if he was annoyed to be reminded like some child, but it really doesn't bother him that much. He got information from it, and it's nice to hear Odasaku's voice again, especially in such a caring tone. The door shuts as Dazai walks back over to the mirror, inspecting the photos and figures as he figures out how this world's Dazai is supposed to dress. School, huh? Let's see how that goes. Hey everyone, that was the first chapter of, hang on, I have to scroll back up again. The first chapter of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us. I love this, and it's reading over it again, even though I just read it yesterday, is amazing. So, I love this book. Zena Lemon, you are an amazing author, and I know I already got your permission, I know I already told you, but you are amazing. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.